somebody who has experienced a great deal of trauma, abuse, neglect, or mistreatment from the world around you, this can really manipulate your spiritual senses as well. And so there's nothing evil about needing that additional support, right? If you take a look at the song by Aladdin, right, and it's One Step Ahead, and him and Jasmine are standing on the rooftop, and he's like, all you have to do is jump. All you have to do is have this faith and jump. And to me, that's like the typical religious example, right? Of people are like, God wants you to just operate off of faith. God would never speak to you through pictures. All you have to do is jump. And Aladdin leaps to the other building without any assistance. But Jasmine has grown up in a different circumstance. She has grown up behind palace walls, isolated, and even in some way overprotected to her own detriment. It somewhat stunted her ability to have that, right? That extra strength to make that leap. Not to mention that she is physically structured in a different way than Aladdin, right? So she needs additional support. She uses the giant stick, and it takes her a couple tries to even gather the strength and the courage to be able to make that leap. And there's something about the measurement between the two, how you cannot measure that act as equal because it took so much additional strength and energy for another party to be able to do the same thing that someone else was able to do. So there's something here about that. Someone needed to hear that. I typically reference that song. The angels will show me that song from Aladdin when there is a talented card reader that is putting down their cards because they're hearing the call from Christ. And I don't personally, in my experience, I don't believe that the two have to be exclusive from one another. I believe that Christ loves card readers just as much as any other sinner on this planet. And that's not to say that card reading itself is a sin. For me, as someone who walks through two faith systems, I believe sin and karma are words that can be used interchangeably. I believe that destiny and curses can also be a part of that. And us being human and only having limited understanding into what is coming into play, what this deciding factor is. It's kind of like in the book of Job, when Job's friends was instructing him on, well, you must have sinned. You must have done something to deserve this. God doesn't act outside of balance. So naturally, you must have sinned. You must be worse than what we thought. And even that action of, I guess, divination, or even what could be seen as sorcery and manipulation over Job's mind and the influence they have over Job to instruct him outside of the way God was actually moving, right? And not having that humility to admit we don't know everything. We have a limited understanding of the unseen, and we're only shown what we are blessed to be shown, either by God or an entity outside of God, in exchange for, I don't know, an offering, I guess.